This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Scooter. Thanks for pulling up a chair with us.
We are not experts on any of these topics, but we are hoping to spark something.
Like an idea, a conversation, or even a revelation.
Well, let's give it a shot.
Let's talk about stuff. Well, hello.
Hiya.
Oh, no. Is that your trademark? Hello?
Yeah.
Try another one.
I like hiya.
Try a different tone.
Hello.
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 Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Well, this is episode 1. What are we doing?
I don't know.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know, Pinky.
I don't know. Conquer the world?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Scooter, and this is...
Me. I'm Sarah.
That's me, Sarah. And we're going to go ahead and talk about things throughout our series of podcasts. Our first one, I felt like we should introduce ourselves. I mentioned it, and Sarah said...
Yeah, we should do that.
We should do that. She doesn't agree with me often, so I thought, well, we better do it then. So here we are. We're going to come up with some topics that were kind of crowdsourced from everyone. And today we're just going to talk about ourselves and give you a background, maybe a short synopsis. But before we do those kind of things, we always like to come up with
Good thing.
a good thing.
Yes.
Yes, a good thing. So we come up with a good thing. Each of us are going to come up with a good thing that's happened to them recently and go with that. So, Sarah, it's all you.
Okay, so I have 2 good things.
Oh, no.
I know.
First episode.
I know. Already
And
broke
she's
the rules.
hogging the mic.
So the first one is so thankful in California that we have beautiful weather. It might not last any longer than this weekend, but the weather has been gorgeous. So I actually got out for a walk today and that was nice. Second good thing was I made it to the gym, and that is hard to do sometimes. So it was nice to get out there and get my butt kicked by Allie.
Allie, yes.
She's scary if you guys don't know her.
In such an amazing way.
Yes, the most motivational, scary person you've ever met.
Fact. The sweetest, scariest person
Yes.
I think I've ever met.
Yes.
Well, there's a couple that are close, but not quite like her.
No.
So, good things then. Thanks, babe. That was, we're going to have episodes about getting to the gym and those types of things because showing up is literally the hardest part of almost anything you do, especially doing the gym.
Fact.
Good thing. I have to come up with now one on here too. And we didn't write any of this down. We're just going for it. So when it comes up to a good thing for me that's been recent is the company that I decided to start years ago is now making some sort of money. Now, not profiting, but there's an income because people are paying us to do things again, which we will have some episodes about that too. But those are kind of things that are amazing in this climate of our life as small business owners. That part of life can really suck. Like, we both run our own businesses, so if we don't work, we don't get paid.
Yes.
So that's a big part of my good thing, especially recently, because I do have employees and I like to give them money.
Well, I think it's legally you have to give them money.
Yeah, volunteers you do not, but they are not volunteers. So that would be really a good thing for me for that reason, for really so I can pay my employees on time and what they're worth. And those types of things. So that's our segment of good things. This is what we're going to do every episode is come up with some good things that are, I think that's the most important thing that Sarah has brought into my life when it comes to sitting down and talking and having little meetings is, all right, come up with a good thing. And I was like, what is this crap? But years later, I'm going, holy smokes, this is amazing. It lets you concentrate on some of the positive stuff to pull up all that crappy stuff.
Yes, and I have to give a thank you to where I learned it from as a prior job, and the start of every meeting, people would share good things. And I thought, this is the best thing ever. And I want my kids to be able to sit down and we actually take a moment to reflect on like good things that have happened in your life. No matter how small it might be. It could just be you had a cookie today and that was awesome. Or it could be something way deeper, but to just take a moment and reflect on a few good things in your life is sometimes you forget to do that.
Yeah, and you won't forget if you've had one of Sarah's cookies. Let's be real.
They're hit or miss.
Nah, but when they're a hit, holy cow. So we're going to go ahead and get on to our next segment, which really is about the topic of the week. But what it's really about is our life experiences, not giving you advice, but telling you our opinions from our perspective. Just because we've done a few things. Not a ton, not everything, not even close. But we are going to be calling that Advise Me Not.
Advise Me Not.
If you're listening to this podcast, you probably gave us some of these.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so Sarah and I only came up with like a few each. Yeah. So out of the, I think, 20-some subjects that we will attempt to touch upon, there's stuff from small businesses all the way down to how to make a menu is one. What's some other ones?
Exercising and fitness, keeping romance alive when you're married. Why would you get married?
Most of these things are questions that you guys have brought to us or we've had to answer in our own lives. Having kids that treat you differently at home than they treat everybody else.
Yes.
That's one. We're a mixed family in multiple layers. So you'll get to know that. So give me a little bit about, I don't want to do like I'm interviewing you, but what about you? I mean,
what's on my resume?
Yeah. What's called a CV?
Yeah.
We'll try and be global.
Okay. What's on my CV? Where would you like to start, sir?
Let's not I mean, I don't know. I don't want to interview you because it's going to get, it's not going to be good. I'm talking about like you as a person. I mean, I could probably talk about you. Do you want me to talk about you and then you talk about me?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. That'll be interesting.
Do you want to go first then?
No, go ahead.
See, I did that to myself. Wouldn't be the first or the last time that I've done that to myself. All right, so we'll talk about you first. Sarah comes from a small town in the central west coast of California, a town called Wood. I did not know. She comes from Madera, and I didn't know this till I met her, that Madera means wood.
Yes.
I did not know this, which is ironic because I spent years working at a Home Depot, and that was the word right under wood in Home Depot under the banners. It's under all of them. But no, Sarah, you'll get to know more about who she is, where she comes from through the series. But to me, who she is not my savior, not my guiding light or anything to that. She is like a true partner to me. Like somebody that I can trust with the dumb and the dumber of all the things that I do. The sporadic and the explosively sporadic things that I do. And not one of those people that just says, yes, that's a great idea. I support you all the way. It's like, no, pick one, do something. And it's also, if you're not doing anything, you got to do something. She's that person to me. She's also like, I don't know, when we were courting, I'll use an old word. My parents would be really excited to hear me say courting. Truly was one of the most challenging courting experiences of my life. And the reason was she wanted me to know how to be happy on my own before I could ever be happy with her as a partner. And she did it in such a non-abrasive but cutthroat way. And I chased her, and I think she chased me a little bit too after we got into it, after a year or so. But it really was that. And the history of that will come out in these episodes on how we met and how we keep it going. But that's who she encompasses to me. What she does for a living is not relevant to me. How she treats other people, how she treats me, how she treats the universe, how she treats herself. Those are the things that have me drawn to her like every single day. So the little nuts and bolts of her life, we'll get to know those through this podcast. Hope that was not very specific.
No, it's very broad, but that's okay. It was
I'm
very
not into
nice.
Specifics. I'm really not.
I liked it. It was good.
You know that.
I know. So mine's going to be specific because that's just who I am. Let's see. Scooter. Papa Scoot, we like to call him.
Curse you, Thomas Todd.
Comes from Montana, and he likes to have this weird South Canadian accent where he says odd words for no reason that nobody can ever understand. And he is driven to save the world. And he doesn't always know what that means or looks like, but he always knows that his goal in life is to save the world. He is, what's the word? Very confrontational, and doesn't mean bad or good. That's just who he is. And he knows where he's going most of the time. He has 80,000 different ways to get there, but he always knows what his end goal is. Yeah, I think that's you in a nutshell.
No, that was really good because no, it sparked something in me saying that was really good because it was all about me. No, I felt it was, especially when you talk about, I don't know what the number you used, but there's many ways to get to the same place. I think that's where you'll find, you as a listener will find out why we're together. Sarah and I are very different human beings, but we have extremely similar goals. Now, her goal is not to save the world.
No.
Yet, she likes to be part of it. Part of the world, helping people, which ultimately does save the world. And our common small goals, like finances and those type of things are very common. Just the way we get there are completely different. Mine's work hard and inspire people and the money will come. And she's like, no. Chill out. We got to pay bills.
Yes.
I was like, okay.
Somewhere in there, we still have to be responsible people.
I really feel over the years, her and I have turned directions towards each other in the sense of, tell me if I'm wrong here. I have calmed down and looked at finances a lot more frequently than I ever have, and more every year. And you have said, hey, let's spend that money on doing something silly.
Yes.
A lot more than you used to.
Ever. Yes.
Right. So I think we're never going to meet in the middle.
No.
That's not a thing. And those are kind of some experiences we will tell everybody is like, compromise is not always the answer.
No.
It's rarely the answer. There'll be more about that kind of thing. But that's where we want to kind of go with. That would be our basic topic section. Advise me not. Now, there was no real advice in there yet, but there was hints to advice.
There was hints.
There was a lot of hints. So that is our main concept of our podcast is going to be the Advise Me Not. The last section before we always are going to cut out with a shout out.
Yes. I almost yelled shout out.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. Shout out.
Ooh, that sounds perfect. We should record that.
Shout out. Woo!
It's basically to give a shout out to someone, either be a company, a person, just anything that's going on out there that really deserves and has earned their spot in inspiring us to do something different, better, or just enlighten us in some way. So I'm giving those to Sarah. I'm talking a lot.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm going to give my shout out to Salamander Ranch, and that is a dear friend of mine, Kelsey, whose whole dream was to be able to raise her kids on a farm and be self-sufficient and live off the earth, and she's doing it. And the interesting thing about dreams is that sometimes you get there and you're like, holy crap, this was way harder than I ever thought it would be. And is it worth it? And that's a totally okay question to give yourself. But I'm super proud of her for at least going out and finding if this was the way that she wanted her dream to be. So my shout out is to Salamander Ranch.
Oh.
Love you, Kelsey.
Well, love you too. I was like a little bit of tears in my eyes. Miss you too. If you listen, Kelsey, we do miss you. Shout out on my end. I should have thought about these things before we did this because I put this together, the flow of this, but I don't ever plan ahead. I right now, I'm really need to give a big shout out to Carl Gonsolin. He is my jiu-jitsu trainer, has been for about 2 years now, but not because of me. It has to do with his resilience, his perseverance, his commitment to not only just the sport and the technology of the sport, but to the people that he serves and the people that he helps and the people that he guides without even knowing that he's guiding them. There's so many people in if you don't know, we're in the Sacramento area, that he has touched their lives through jiu-jitsu. He is through and through, him and his brother, jiu-jitsu. No joke. And they are inspiring because of it, because they really want to show you the ins and outs of everything and mechanically, and they're so giving and so responsive. They really are. So I'd really have to get that out to Carl. Shout out to you, sir. Thank you so much for doing what you do in the Sacramento area for jiu-jitsu community. So those are our shout outs. Anything else you want to tie off?
I'm excited for the next episode because I have so many things to say. Oh. But I can't say it now because we have to wait for it.
Well, you're going to wait.
I know.
Tune in. This is only episode 1, so tune in for episode 2 very soon. It'll be next week. So we'll see you soon. And we'll talk about stuff then.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hello, I'm Patrick.
And I'm Andrew.
And I'm Christian.
And I'm Allie.
And we are Rad Theater, a podcast where a bunch of friends play role-playing games and share a single brain cell, and the GM doesn't always have it. Oh, and it's theater spelled the correct way, Theatre.